hope you enjoyed that brief little how-to on reskinning your film camera. Now really quickly, we're just going to go over the tools you need to do this, and that'll wrap up this video. So first of all, you need some sort of cutting substance. This is like one of those self-healing pads. I use this to reseal all my cameras, and then it works of course great for doing anything like this. You don't necessarily need this, but don't go cutting it on your hardwood floors or carpet or anything like that, because you're going to ruin it. Use an old cardboard box or something that you're not worried about tearing up, because you are going to cut through whatever it is you're trying to cut. Next, of course, is what you're going to use to cut it, which would be an Exacto knife in my case. This is great for the finer details. However, you don't necessarily need this. A cheap box cutter works just great. It doesn't work quite as well for the nice rounded curves and things like that, but it will get the job done and it works just fine. A ruler, because we want to cut straight lines, and then of course pencil, whatever, to just mark your lines. Now if you're going to use a veneer or substance that does not have an adhesive back, you will need Plyo Bond. Now this is camera safe, so this is basically what is used to apply the skin that's already on your camera. So it is safe, it will come off easily if you eventually need to replace it, and it's not going to damage the camera. Please don't go using super glue or Gorilla Glue or anything like that, because you're gonna ruin it. And then eventually, if you ever have to take it off or if you mess up, you're kind of stuck with it like that. Don't do that. Next is the actual veneer or material that you're going to use to do this. So I tried this a few different times. I went on Amazon, I found a wood veneer. It was nice, it was very thin, flexible. I thought it was gonna work out perfect until I started cutting it and realized that it is just not very durable at all. As soon as I would start cutting it, it just kind of broke apart and just crumbled. It was miserable. So I took it all off because it looked awful, and it did not work anywhere near like I was hoping it would. So I made a second attempt with a different veneer that already had an adhesive back to it. So this one has a 3M adhesive back. It's a little bit thicker, but that also makes it much stronger. And then of course the back side is already kind of sticky, so it's not gonna rip apart when you cut it, which was leaps and bounds better than the previous material. So that is awesome. It is not quite as flexible because it is thicker and because it has that backing to it, but it works great. All I did was put a clear stain on this to kind of seal it, and then just cut it to size and put it on the camera, and it works great. I am probably gonna have to redo it just because I wanted my grain to go horizontally, and it's not quite as flexible that way. But if you go vertically with the grain, then it is much more flexible and it'll probably stick a lot better. Also, I've heard using like an iron on the edges will kind of help with that as well. So I might try that also. Last thing, make sure you use the skins that are on your camera as a template to cut this off. The FX-3, as soon as I got that camera, I threw away those skins because it was used by a smoker, I guess, previously, and every time I used it, it was just giving me a headache. So I ripped them off and threw them away as soon as I got it. And that made it much more difficult to cut the skins exactly to size, which is why, of course, I had to measure as well. If you already have skins on there and you peel it off in one piece, you can just cut out that as a template and you're good to go. You don't have to worry about measuring or sizing up or anything like that. And that is how you reskin your film camera. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions about how I did this or how you can do it, leave that down below and I'll be sure to answer that. If you enjoyed this, make sure you like and subscribe for future videos. And if you want this done, I might actually start doing this as kind of like a promo, or I might actually start doing this as a side gig because I still have quite a bit of this left. So I got to do something with it, right? So that's going to conclude this video, and I will see you in the next one.